You need this. So lightweight, I thought I wasn't wearing anything at all. I'll hand this off to you.
Sweet. Looks like some cool stuff you guys are doing.
Yeah, I would love to have you come by and do that music.
For sure. Test. Okay. All right. Well, I'm McKay with VR Junkies. First, I want to say thanks for the guys putting this on. It's an awesome show, and I know we're excited to be here. So, another round of applause. Our backstory. I'll talk about a couple items today, but we're a virtual reality arcade franchise. So, we have 6 locations right now in the U.S., with a handful more opening up in the next couple weeks. And things are finally rolling. We've been working on franchising for a while, and that, if any of you have ever done that, don't. It's a it's a holy pain in the butt, but finally looking towards the end of it. So we opened our first facility in Utah in June. So we're one of the first ones to come online, and it was, if you guys, how many of you in here own an arcade or are running an arcade? A handful of us? Okay. How about people that are wanting to open an arcade? It's kind of the handful of people checking it out. So we just thought, we tried the Vive, and of course, like everyone, we were blown away. So we thought, what the heck, let's put it in the mall and see what happens. So it took off and did really well, and since then we've been running. We'll talk about a few of the details, but here's just a few store pictures. So we focus largely on mall locations. We've targeted high traffic facilities. Now there's kind of an argument, do you do high traffic versus high traffic facility, where a mall where you're required to be open all these hours in the day. It sucks, but the pro is that you get a lot of traffic driven to you versus, do you go into a standalone facility where you can control your own hours, as the gentleman with the escape room kind of presented. There are pros and cons to both, and our objective from the franchise side is to help you as business owners understand the market, understand how to go to market with a business plan that you can see a profit. I'm sure if you've looked at the arcade space, you've seen people open and close. There's a reason for that. There's a handful of things you've got to do right, or you'll follow suit like the rest. So our facilities, as I mentioned, we've got 3. We've got a handful more coming up. We did a little over 80,000 minutes in March across facilities, and that comes into play pretty powerfully for developers. So we have a development platform along with a handful of other systems. And we work with developers around the world to bring content that is commercially licensable to arcades. That actually includes VR Junkies, and it includes other facilities. So if you have an existing arcade, maybe you're doing things illegally at the moment, or maybe you're just wanting to take it up to the next level and really do it for real. You might be using Steam as well. Some of those fixed prices can get pretty expensive. Especially depending on what you're doing in terms of how many games you're bringing in, what you're charging. There's a lot of variables that go into play. What we focused on is getting content in and getting it in at a price per minute or a price per play model, so that you as an arcade owner, you can have 20, 30 games in your facility and give people, everyone that walks in the door of your facility, they all say the same thing. They all come in and they're like, oh, how many games do you have? As if that's a status symbol, and of course they really only end up playing a handful of the different games that are on your platform, but they want to see that content, they want to see those options, and so we've focused on bringing a variation of content to facilities and allowing you to bring that in without a massive upfront fee, and then you pay for it as you use it. So we offer a handful of other systems and management for all of our facilities, whether from time tracking, game licensing, as I mentioned. We do all the customer tracking. We have internal leaderboard tracking, a lot of email management, scheduling management, membership management as well, as Jeremy mentioned. I think memberships, it's something we've been testing, kind of a new model. We haven't been doing unlimited playtime. And we can talk about that tomorrow. I have some concerns with that from a business model side of things, but memberships, I believe, will be a big part in getting return traffic and getting people back into the arcades consistently. So anyway, our objective, and I don't have tons and that's the wrong direction here. So I don't have tons and tons of slides here, informationally wise, but would love to talk to you. Our objective is to come and to help you with your facility whether you want to come into a franchise where we can provide you with the information, again, the business model, the resources to help you be successful in this business, or if you just need the management tools, the licensing to help you with an existing facility that's already running. So, that's our goal. We want arcades to be available. I believe, we've got a window of time here in which the arcade is a great business model, and we'll do really well. Now, there's a time window on that. I think we can all understand. Some of these big facilities may still exist. The small arcades, there's a window here, but there's a great profitability that can be pulled in during that time period. But things have to be done correctly, and that's really our objective, is to help you do it as best you can. So, any questions? Man, I must have been super thorough. Yeah.
You talk about the window of opportunity. What do you think is the limit?
Sure. So there's a couple kinds of facilities. As Jeremy mentioned, I thought he actually did a good job with talking about the arena scale. There's going to be the replacement for, or the modern version of the laser tag that's going to exist for a long time. It's in a space that's too big to do at your house. In terms of these small facilities, like the ones we focus on doing, which is really get it up, get it done quickly for a reasonable price, so it doesn't cost you a fortune, and you can get a good ROI in the next couple of years. We're looking at a 3 to 5 year window for the standard arcade, during which, of course, you're going to have some hardware upgrades. You're going to have to bring in some new technologies, which is one other piece that we help with, is we really focus on working with hardware content providers so that we can keep you up to date, keep you informed with what's new, and keep your facility fresh. Any other questions? Yeah.
Do you also integrate retail sales of other products, accessories, and so forth in your arcade?
We do. We actually do have a retail side as well. The retail segment has been interesting, though, so I wouldn't heavily suggest it, just because of the investment into retail, having the overhead, and then, of course, the theft issues that do occur in the retail side of business. Revenues from retail were excellent during Christmas season, and we'll in all of our facilities we'll bring that back in again during the holiday season. But throughout the rest of the year, the revenues, in my mind, have not offset the cost or the investment value that they incur.
So on your EFT, your electronic fund transfer membership, is that what you're doing, or is that what you're gearing your program, your stores to, as a membership?
Our stores we have a membership. That's something we're just testing that out. So that's just started running as of the last couple of weeks. Our facilities are pay per play in general, like most arcades. So come in, rent a time, book a time slot. We allow sharing of time as well.
But are your facilities also membership prices different than retail price? Is that?
Yes. Yeah, they get a discount on the memberships.
Are you finding that more recurring in your membership, obviously?
It's yet to be determined. That's the assumption. We usually get about a 60% plus return rate on average of our customers coming back. So, okay. All right, thank you.